This guy's wearing a shackle, huh? Why is that?
Actually, the patient is said to be restless.
He's restless now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now they told me money to my farm. I met a new one.
Kò ṣe ká má bàa máa rìn káàkiri ìlú náà fi dè mọ́ wa lẹ́sẹ̀ àfi jókòó jẹ.
Títí oṣù márùn-ún tí àgádágodo ti wà lẹ́sẹ̀ mi tí n bá ti fi rìn ló máa ń dùn mí.
It's not good to human being. It's like bí kéèyàn wà nínú ọgbà ẹ̀wọ̀n.
Mental health, it affects every one of us. Yet, for many Nigerians, both at home and in diaspora, it remains a taboo. Today, we are taking a deep dive into the mental health crisis affecting Nigerians, both in Nigeria and abroad, especially in the UK. In Nigeria, it is estimated that 1 in 5 people live with a mental illness. That's nearly 40 million people. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, and even autism affect millions. Yet, the vast majority go undiagnosed or untreated. Let's watch this video quickly.
According to mental health practitioners, 1 in every 10 Nigerians, which represents 25% of the population, suffer one form of mental disorder or another. 10% of whom have access to treatment, leaving a huge gap in access to psychotic care. Many times, these members of the larger society are seen roaming the streets with their presence, often causing passers-by fear that the slightest provocation could trigger an attack.
Anytime I see them, I feel somehow people fear in me. I'm scared because it's not a good thing. Somebody that is not mentally okay, seeing them around you, they can do and undo.
I feel that these ones are neglected and that they are not being captured in the social welfare of the society.
But there are differing opinions about the growing population of people living with mental challenges.
Most of them pretend to be mad. In the research, they are not mad. So they have their reasons for pretending as if they are mad. Most probably for kidnapping, or probably for probably setting up people, or probably to get information about people, or probably to rob at times.
Dr. Abayomi Olajide is a consultant psychiatrist at the nearest.
Well, I do not blame the people that think that some of them fake this illness because, like I said in my previous video, what cannot happen in Nigeria does not exist. Like we've seen so many different things coming out of Nigeria, so I don't blame him. Now, even me, when I was a child, I remember, I think I was just like 5 or 6 years old when I saw one mentally challenged person on the road. I was scared, not really scared. Me and other of my peers, as at them, we started laughing. My grandma was the first person that taught me that you shouldn't laugh at somebody who has mental illness or mental health challenges, and she told me that because she was like, do you know that if you laugh at these people, something like that will happen to you? And since then, I've learned to be empathetic, and as I grew older, I also informed myself on what mental health is and what I can do as well to lend my voice to the issue surrounding mental illness. In 2017, the WHO, World Health Organization, estimated that about 7 million Nigerians, 3.9% of the population, had depressive disorders, and 4.9 million Nigerians, which is equivalent to 2.7%, had anxiety disorders. Let's watch this video quickly.
The importance of mental health in Nigeria is becoming increasingly critical as many Nigerians face health challenges daily. For women and young girls, staying informed and proactive about their health is essential, as medical issues can arise at any time. Recognizing this, the government, private sector, NGOs, and other stakeholders are working together to address these pressing concerns. News Central's Chidinma Ona has more.
Makoko, often referred to as one of Lagos' most underserved communities, is home to thousands of families striving to overcome daily challenges. For a long time, critical gaps in health and education have disproportionately affected communities like Makoko, particularly impacting women and young girls in areas such as menstrual health and skill empowerment. This comes as a group of women show support to the women of Makoko, aiming to provide better access to healthcare and essential resources.
I also don't blame the community for not being aware of this problem, because when you're battling crime every day, crime like armed robbery and many other challenges, or even poverty, of course the last thing you will start thinking about is I need to make myself aware or on what mental health is. So I really don't blame most of them, and I believe also Nigeria should implement a school system where mental health is taught in school as well. If people are taught in school, then people will be more aware as they grow. Among trauma-related conditions, PTSD is a significant issue, particularly in regions affected by conflict and violence. For example, the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast. Research in displaced populations show extremely high rates of PTSD. Studies of internally displaced persons, IDPs, in Nigeria found PTSD prevalence ranging from about 42% up to 78% in those samples. And this highlights the immense psychological toll of terrorism and communal violence on Nigerians directly exposed to trauma. Now let's watch this video as well quickly. This is a video of a woman who is battling some form of mental illness, but instead of her to get help, which to be honest I do not blame her, she went to a traditional healer, or what we can call a native doctor.
Hadiza was hearing voices telling her to harm herself, so her family handcuffed.
Which in abroad we believe when you hear voices it's a form of schizophrenia, but yeah, let's move on.
Her and brought her here to Amina Aliyu, a traditional doctor in Gwagwalada just outside of Abuja. Aliyu believes Hadiza is demonized. She's using herbs, leaves and other natural ingredients to treat her.
When people come and they tell me they have a problem with their head, I pray, and God tells me the cause of the problem. God shows me that these are the issues in the person's life. Through that, I know what kind of herbs and leaves to give them. When I give them such herbs, God relieves them of the problem.
This is another issue with Nigeria. I think religion has killed a reasonable sense of reasoning in the country amongst its inhabitants, because religion is one of the major problems we have in Nigeria. And at this point, I'm thinking that religion and poverty are being used as a weapon, because if people are afraid of God or demons or stuff like that and poverty, people will not want to educate themselves. Because yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there are not possessed people. There are 101%. We definitely have possessed people. Not all scenarios requires a traditional healer or a pastor or whatever. For example, if you've got headache, instead of you to pray to God, God has given the knowledge to man to develop paracetamol and other drugs that can cure headache. So not all situations requires the input of God. God has already developed strategies, or has already given human beings the strategies to deal with some of these issues. So it's just alarming that as of 2025, we still have issues of people going to native doctors to cure mental illness. Now we've got an article from Punch which was dated about 3 to 4 days ago, 13th of April, talking about how there is a rise in police suicides amidst Nigeria's mental health crisis. It is really disturbing, and it says here, it says from junior constables to seasoned officers with decades of service, the trend cuts across rank and region. In March 2025, the Ogun State Police Command confirmed the death of a police inspector, Ajele Oloyede, who took his own life while on special duty at Goodwill Ceramic Company in Igbesha. But this is not the first time I'm hearing about a police officer taking its own life, which means there is definitely a problem going on in Nigeria that needs to be addressed. In 2016, a screening study in southeastern Nigeria found an autism prevalence of approximately 2.9% amongst children aged 3 to 18 years in mainstream schools. Other clinic-based studies have reported autism rates around 0.8 to 2.3% amongst children seen in neurology or psychiatric clinics. While these figures vary by setting, they dispel the misconception that autism is a Western condition. Clearly, thousands of Nigerian children are on the autism spectrum. Nigeria has just around 250 psychiatrists for over 200 million people. That's one psychiatrist for every 800,000 people. And most live in urban areas. For rural communities, access is next to none. When it comes to autism, the problem runs even deeper. Many children go undiagnosed because autism is still widely misunderstood in Africa and Nigeria. Some believe it's a spiritual problem, or the child might be mentally retarded or simply naughty. Others see it as a curse and possessed by evil. Let's watch this video quickly.
Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects the social communication ability of a child and also affects their behavior.
Good talking, high five. Awesome.
I've been around for about 14-15 years working with children with autism and related disabilities. And some of the children who are now adults, they would have made good progress if they had the economic means.
This stigma can lead to extreme outcomes, such as children be ostracized or even subjected to harmful traditional exorcisms. Even within the Nigerian community, knowledge about autism is limited. One Nigerian psychiatrist noted that nearly 70% of medical professionals she surveyed had no idea where to refer an autism case or what to even make of the diagnosis. Let's move away from Nigeria. What about Nigerians in diaspora, especially in the UK? There has been an increased surge of sudden deaths amongst Nigerians because many of them are battling an undiagnosed mental health that they were not even aware of. Now, you might think it's different for them. Mental health services are more available in the UK. Diagnosis is easier, but that doesn't mean that the stigma disappeared. Many Nigerians in the UK still struggle in silence. Depression, it's seen as weakness. Anxiety, you should just pray. PTSD, that's a Western concept. And autism, families fear judgment and stigma, so they delay getting help. In fact, deep-seated stigma remains one of the primary barriers to seeking care. In Nigerian communities, mental illness is often poorly understood and highly stigmatized. A landmark survey in southeastern Nigeria found 96.5% of respondents believe people with mental illness are dangerous, like we watched in the video previously, and 82.7% said they would be afraid to even have a conversation with someone mentally ill. I also expressed my own experience of when I was a child, and that's because there is lack of awareness in Nigeria. COVID-19 also made things worse. In Nigeria, anxiety and depression surged. People lost jobs, churches and schools shut down. Many had nowhere to turn. In the UK, Nigerian frontline workers faced trauma, grief, and isolation. Also, the stress of poverty, the weight of expectations, the pressure to succeed, and even racism. These are all mental health triggers. For many Nigerians abroad, especially in places like London, the pressure to make it is silently breaking people. people. Now, there is hope. New mental health laws have been passed in Nigeria, and youth-led movements like Mentally Aware Nigeria Initiative are breaking the silence. UK-based Nigerian groups are also holding workshops, launching podcasts, and creating safe spaces. We are finally saying mental health is not a curse. It is not a weakness. It is health, just like diabetes or malaria or even headache. Now, let me leave this video by saying that if you're struggling, know this: you are not alone. Help is available. Talk to someone, break the silence, and end the stigma. It starts from you, it starts from me. Let's stop stigmatizing people that are going through one thing or the other, because more we stigmatize them, the less they would be willing to open up to speak about their condition or about whatever is affecting them. And together we can build a healthier future, not just for all Nigerians, but for our children and our children's children. So please feel free to like, share, comment. Make sure you share, please. The more you share, the more you encourage me to do better. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell, and see you in the next video. Bye.